Welcome to the running journey. Welcome to the running journey.
Welcome to the running journey.
Welcome
to the running journey. Running journey, yeah. Welcome to The Running Journey, a transformative podcast telling the story of two brothers faced with a very tough time in their lives that decided to do something about it, get healthy, get fit, and start jogging. The Running Journey will take you through half marathons, Ironmans, Ultramarathons, and their attempt at qualifying for the Boston Marathon.
Don't forget 5Ks. Sorry.
We're certainly not going to forget 5Ks, Charlie. This is The Running Journey. Listen to us while you run.
That's a great idea.
Okay, I think we have our intro. All right, welcome, guys. Great to be here. Welcome to The Running Journey. I'm Rob Tatros, my brother, Charlie Tatro. I was hesitating. I was going to throw an adjective.
Got that name right?
No, but I was going to throw like an adjective in there, or like nemesis, or older, but he looks younger. Older, but I don't know. Older but not wiser. I don't know. I was going to chirp you, but I couldn't think of a chirp right off the bat. So I went with nothing. How you doing this week? How you feeling?
Oh, pretty good. Not so good about my running. I mean, I spent a week in the lower countries. No, the Netherlands. And I ran every day, and it was awesome because there was no snow. So I felt good about my running. Then I came back and I ran outside, and it was cold, minus 38 with the wind chill on Sunday. That was fun.
Super fun.
Yeah. It was all right because I was able to test all my gear, and it wasn't very cold. So
minus 38. What do you wear? Just to give us an indication.
So I've never worn so much. I had my warm kind of tights.
Yeah.
I had an extra pair of pants over that plus I had my gitch. I had long socks, shoes.
You wore shoes?
Yeah, I wore shoes to run instead of boots. I had my Under Armour warm cold gear, whatever you want to call it, that keeps me warm. I had another shirt over top, and then I like a more of a thicker shirt, and then I had a windbreaker jacket over the top, and then I had like a balaclava on top of that. I debated wearing the ski goggles, and I should have, because that was the only part of my face that was cold.
Like right around the eyes, basically.
Yeah, only part of my body that was cold. It was cold. So an hour 10 outside, and not really any issues with the cold, but 8 hours.
And then you just do gloves and a toque.
Yeah, no toque, just the balaclava.
Just the balaclava. I find it a little thick. I find it like I do balaclava and toque on top.
Yeah, mine is pretty thick, so it's fine. But the only problem is a little bit of the icicles here, the icicles everywhere.
Yeah, that's cold. Like for those of you that aren't from here, minus 38 degrees is basically the same in Celsius and Fahrenheit, give or take. It's minus 40. Minus 38 is minus 38 Fahrenheit. So
pretty close, yeah.
37 maybe. So it's like
39. Fahrenheit would be lower.
That's what I said. Minus 38 Celsius would be
minus 39 Fahrenheit.
37.
No, Fahrenheit's lower.
No, it gets lower.
Right.
It gets lower after minus 40.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you win.
Chalk it up. Another win.
Math, it's tough.
Math win. So like if you've never, well, I guarantee you, unless you're from Winnipeg or Saskatoon or maybe Calgary, Edmonton, and you're listening to this, you've never experienced that cold. Like that doesn't happen in Toronto. It doesn't happen in the Maritimes. It doesn't happen in Montreal. It certainly doesn't happen in BC. It's like really, really, really cold on the prairies. So, and if you're from the US, you've never experienced this. It's
in the wind.
It's just the wind. It's just so cold. It's a cold that you can't every time every year in February, it's like, why do we live here? I keep asking myself, why do we live here? You go down south to Florida for 10 days and you run outside every day and you're so happy and like you're seeing the birds and the lakes and then you're going to, where were you, Netherlands or wherever you were, and you're just like running outside and it's January and there's no snow and it's probably somewhat warm, but that's like in Europe. We're not talking Florida or California, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, it's cold in Winnipeg is what I'm getting at, which takes us to our next race. Real quick, I'll update you guys on me. So you've obviously been tapering, I guess. So a little bit of taper. You said no taper for your coach, but
yeah, it looks like there's a bit of taper based on like the Training Peaks numbers. I don't understand how they
I think
work,
you
but
want a taper.
The CTL is getting close to the what's the CTL and the ATL are getting pretty
chronic training load.
Yeah.
I think you want a little bit of a taper. You want to be hungry on Saturday. It's Saturday or Sunday, your race?
Sunday.
You want to be hungry. You want to run. Like you want to feel like I think it's a good call to take some slower days here, lighter days. I don't think you need to do 0 miles, but
yeah,
you're probably.
No, agreed. I don't know how hungry I'm going to be because we'll see. I'm not. So my amount of pumpedness compared to previous races is like 30%.
How pumped you are on a scale of 0 to LA?
To LA, yeah, I'm about 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. Yeah. Okay. How and where? What would like the half marathons have been? The ones we did together. And what would the triathlon have been?
The WFPS was probably a 9.
Wow.
And then Olympic triathlon was probably like a 7. What about you? Like when you are there races sometimes where you're not as pumped or more pumped?
I'm trying to remember. It's hard for me to go back to the Ironman because it's been a year, almost a year. But like there's the nervousness too, right? Like the nervousness of maybe I'm going to fail. And I kind of knew I wasn't going to, but there's a chance I bit off more than I could chew. So I was extremely excited for the Ironman. Like I was really, really, really pumped. Plus the boys were coming with me and it was a road trip. So I think that was a 10, but I know how excited I was for LA. Like I know that was a 10 the week before, 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before. And I knew I was going to finish the marathon. And I was pretty confident we'd qualify for Boston. So like all that was very exciting, right? Like I was going to accomplish something pretty remarkable and I was really excited about it.
Yeah. So for me, for this one, I'm a little, but there's a lot of unknowns. I don't feel I'm very fit running wise right now. So like mileage, not nearly as much. My foot's been still a little bit, I mean, it's fine, but once I'm over 10 miles, I'm a little worried about it. So I've kind of told myself, like, if it gets too bad, nothing wrong with pulling out because I don't want to injure. I mean, I doubt I'll do that, but so I'm having my call with Patrick, with my coach on Thursday, and you just had a call with him, and it went well. So yeah, I don't know. Today I had a great workout, unrelated to running, was swimming. So I did my.
You're on Tuesday swim, right? Yeah.
I love the swimming now because I'm improving so fast. So I did 1:03 for 3K, 1 hour 3 for 3K.
Oh wow, that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's way better than what I had previously been doing. Like,
what does that put you for? That put you at like 120?
120 about would be the pace. Yeah, for an Ironman.
That's really, really
good.
So
it's a huge improvement. So I'm pumped about that, but not so pumped about my running and my biking. My biking, I've been so the last workout, I told Patrick that it was supposed to be like a long endurance one. And I told him that he gave me like 2 30-minute sections. And I told him like by the end of the second 30-minute, my legs were burning a little. So he said he's going to dial it down a bit. But
dial down the intensity or like the speed?
The wattage, I guess, for the intensity.
Oh, on the bike. You're talking about the bike.
Yeah, bike. Yeah.
Okay. He overestimated how strong you were.
Well, I don't know. I think I could still do it, but he's dialing it back down. How like has he ever dialed down any workouts for you or anything?
Yeah, all the time. I tell him like, "Oh, it felt great. Could have done this for another half hour," and then he'll be like, "Rob, your heart rate was at 179 at the end there, and well, okay, yeah, I'm toning it down." And then sometimes like on the bike is tougher to tell how hard you're working because there's no real indicators for him other than your heart rate. But
so my heart rate's still super low. I feel
it will be hard. It will be low though all the time, right? On the bike.
I have a high heart rate just naturally, like running and everything, but like comparatively, my working hard, like let's say same heart rate running and biking for me, I'll put the RPE for biking at like 7, and for same heart rate it'll be 4 for running. Like it feels easier.
I don't know if that's just I'm the same way, and I don't know if that's just you and I, or I think that's everyone. I don't know.
Well, I don't know, but I think it's because it's in the legs. I feel it in the legs, not in the.
Yeah, there's almost no exertion, right? Like it's the legs are going to prevent you before your cardio, right?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yeah.
For me, I haven't started.
Maybe other people would have different ideas.
Yeah, perhaps. Do you still do like when you're how many days a week are you biking now? 3?
Well, because I went to Netherlands there and got all thrown off, so I think we're going to start doing 3. Well, I'm after this Frozen Falcon, we're going to have.
You're going to get your long bikes in. The Saturdays.
I really want a lot more bike volume. I think I'm going to tell Patrick. We'll see what he says, and I want my runs to be spread out a little bit more. And I think I want an additional swimming session. I think I want 3 a week, but we'll see what he says.
Yeah, I think he'll like that because he's pushing me hard to swim right now, and I'm telling him, nah, I'll wait. Like I've taken the odd swim, but like I'll wait till after my ultra is what I've told him. Then I'll start swimming once a week. And he's always like, okay, I just want you exiting the water comfortable enough to get on the bike.
That's the thing. I think that like the swimming training is not about improving your time or improving your pace. Well, maybe a little bit, but it's about
being less dead,
doing it easier. I think. Yeah. Like, so getting out of the water really fresh, right? So the more you do it, the fresher you'll feel. I think that's kind of what I think, but
yeah, no, I totally agree. And like incrementally every single time you're seeing better, you're feeling better, you're doing better.
Well, so I swam the whole thing 3,000 nonstop, and I mean, it was slow, but like relatively slow compared to maybe other people, but also fast maybe compared
That's to not slow. People. Like that would put you at the top half for sure.
Yeah. So it felt good that I was like, I've now got a pace that I can maintain, as opposed to, I remember my first workout that Patrick gave me, I said, you can't give me 100-meter sets. I can't do 100 meters without running out of breath. Right. So you got to give me like 50-meter sets max.
25-meter sets. Yeah. Do one lap of this. Do one lap of this.
That's kind of what I told him the first time.
Do you go to Bunny Vital?
Yeah, Bunny Vital. Yeah. Oh, and so here's the funny part. He shows up sometimes same time. He's like keeping tabs on me or something.
He wants to make sure you're going.
I don't know.
Well, I like you're at 6 a.m. Is that what you do on Tuesdays?
6 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's kind of a bit of a crew there, right? Usually.
Yeah, there's it's always I have.
There's another Ironmaner there. There was when I was going on Tuesdays at 6.
Yeah.
Have you chatted with him in the hot tub after?
No, I never go to the hot tub. I gotta get back. I gotta get to work. So.
I make some friends in the hot tub. That's what I do after.
Yeah. Oh.
Tuesdays I gotta do global news. So I gotta be back for like 7:40 at the latest, 7:45. Okay, so you're swimming twice a week. You're going to be biking 3 days a week. You got your call coming up. Okay, let's talk about this race you have this weekend on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's called the Frozen Falcon. So tell us about the race itself.
We've probably talked about it before, but the race is 8 hours long, and the objective is to run as many loops as you can. Every loop is 4 miles. And approximately 4 miles, and the conditions are what make it really difficult. There's 3 significant hills, The snow gets chewed up over time, and it makes running very difficult because you're kind of basically at the end, you're kind of basically running in like 6 inches of like uneven snow. Is from what I've heard from other people that are running the event. So a couple weeks ago, I went on a group run and I met 3 other people that are competing, and one of them one of them has finished in the top 5 in previous years. And he says he usually does, like, he'll do some training where he goes in like the deep snow and just runs in the deep snow.
Wow.
To practice. So that's making me really not want to do it. But at the same time, it's going to be a crazy challenge. Working out the nutrition plan. So my plan right now, I haven't talked to Patrick, so we may adjust this, but my plan right now, nutrition wise, is every loop. So I plan on doing loops.
The loops are 4 miles.
Yeah. So I plan on doing about a loop every 45 minutes is kind of my goal. We'll see, depending on surface, who knows, right? Depending on how bad the surface is, whatever, it might be slower or faster. And then is to ingest about 70 grams of carbs and some water every loop. And then at the beginning of each loop, it's uphill. So I'm going to take a couple 30 seconds there to just walk up the hill and eat and drink water. That's kind of my strategy. And I kind of got a bit of a goal, which would be to do the second half faster than the first half. So
more miles in the second half.
Yeah. So really take it easy in the first half, as the first half is just kind of like getting ready for the second half. But we'll see. Maybe it's my first one, so I might be a little bit over my head here. We'll see.
So they actually rank people not by like the only way you're ranked is number of loops, right?
Yeah, number of loops. So, and then the rule is you have to be able to finish the last loop. So in the rules, I read the rules, it says 4 to 4:15. So the race ends at 5 p.m. So it says you have to start your last loop between 4 and 4:15, depending on what the judges say. But if I'm there at 4:20, I'm going to say I'll go for it. We'll see how good I feel.
This is the 2018 race results. So the top guys did 40 miles.
Yeah.
And 36, 36, 36, and then a bunch of 32. The 2019, nobody did 40. So a bunch of guys did 36. 5 guys did 36, including your buddy Alain Dupuis.
And Steven Graupner, I know, is really fast too. Aaron Webb is really fast.
He won 2 years in a row, this Steven Graupner fellow.
Yeah, he's from Saint-Malo.
Okay, he's a tad younger than you, it looks like.
Yeah, I know he's fast. I
feel like I know the Corey
fast. So in this year's field, there's a pro obstacle course runner called Mikhail Gerlo. So he's never lost a race. So 0% chance to beat him. So he was ranked, actually, I looked him up. He was ranked top 10 in the world in obstacle course running.
Yeah.
Race, so that's going to be cool to have him there, but maybe I'll try to follow him. No, just kidding. There's Steven Graupner. There is Aaron Webb, which I know is super fast. There's Alain Fouadard, who's fast.
Marco's brother.
Fast people. Alain Dupuis. Quite a few other fast people. There's Joël Simard, who's fast. There's Alain Gauguin. So there's 3 Alains that are going to be really fast. So top 10 finish would probably be really good for me in this.
I think you got to do probably 32 miles to get top 10 finish. That's my guess.
Top 10 would be really good.
So that's 8 loops.
It's a tough field.
So if you're doing hour loops, you could still get 8 loops in.
Yeah.
So if you start your last loop and you don't finish it, are you DQ'd?
No, I don't think you're DQ'd.
Wouldn't that be cool though? Like your time doesn't count. So you got to like, oh, do I have enough time to do one more? And if you don't finish that last loop, you're out.
Well, I think it's the judges decide, right? So if they let you, it counts, right? Even if you get there a little bit after 5 p.m. But the
Okay.
judges will probably be really conservative in deciding.
Who are the judges? Joel?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So Joel is my personal trainer. He's the
Yeah.
one who comes in twice a week here, and we work on strength, mobility, and making sure that I'm fit for endurance running. He's an ultra runner.
Yeah.
And this is his race. Okay, so
another couple things like strategy wise that I'm thinking is changing shoes, because my feet just kind of they get tired after a while.
What shoes are you gonna wear?
So I've got some nice Nike React Gore-Tex 4. I forget what the name is, but it's a trail shoe. It's really comfortable. It's got good grip. So that'll be my starting shoe. Then I'll switch to my Nike Zagamas at some point.
What are those, trail shoes?
More trail shoes, but not specifically for winter. And I'm bringing also my $100 shoes that I ran 2 marathons with that weigh 7 ounces. But
which ones?
I ran the one in Vegas.
No, what shoes are they?
Oh, it's like a Adidas SL10. They're like $100. But I really love them. And actually, I ran with them a couple times in the snow. And they're kind of nice because they're light. So you can just kind of skip out of the snow. So I'm bringing those in case I want to switch. And I'm also going to bring my Vaporflies just in case.
I told Coach Patrick I was bringing my Vaporflies to Houston. He said, no, leave them at home. Don't you dare. Give me a hard time.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they're good. Like they've got good cushioning. That's the thing. Like the cushioning for me is why I like them. Like they just, I can run 20 miles in them and not feel anything, as opposed to the other ones where I feel them earlier. So I don't know. We'll see.
What time does the race start?
9 a.m. So it's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
And they have like a tent and they have like friends and family chill in there while you do your loops?
I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I think you can. Cheryl, my wife, is going to kind of come in and watch a little bit the first loop maybe, and then go back to the hotel and then come back halfway through or something. So yeah, there's a yurt. And
you're sleeping in Falcon the night before?
Actually, West Hawk. Every hotel room in Falcon was booked.
And that's which hotel in Falcon? Like there's some sketch hotels in Falcon. There's some good ones, but there's.
Yeah.
So you're staying at West Hawk. Oh, West Hawk's awesome. I love West Hawk.
Yeah. So
down the.
I'm pretty excited about that though, actually, to be away with my wife and no kids for a weekend. Should be nice.
Oh, who was taking the kids? Your in-laws, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
what is it? Mamère and
Nana
and
Grandpa.
Nana and Grandpa are taking the kids. Shout out to Nana and Grandpa.
Yeah.
Okay, so temperature-wise, last weekend.
So yeah, great forecast, by the way. Yeah, sorry.
No, I'm aware. This is what I'm doing. I'm kind of leading you into the next topic of conversation as a host. Last weekend and this morning, and I think tomorrow, like they're closing the schools in Manitoba here. Schools are being closed, and anything that's rural, there were no schools open, and they're because of just the extreme cold. So minus this morning, I think it was minus 31 with, I think wind chill was minus 39.
Yeah.
But I think it's warming up. And I talked to Joel yesterday and he said kind of forecast of 10 degrees or something.
So I looked at Falcon Lake specifically, and another way to gauge how pumped you are for a race is how many times you check the forecast leading up to it. So I'm only at about once a day right now. So that's about a 3, I would say. Anyways, so Sunday, low of minus 17, high of minus 8. So that means at the beginning of the day, it'll be probably around minus 15, and then it'll warm up slightly so that's actually really good conditions.
6 kilometer wind.
6 kilometer wind.
Northeast.
It'll ensure that I'll check the wind. It'll ensure that the snow. So if it's minus 10 or at least, then the snow kind of stays pretty hard, which would hopefully make the surface a little bit more runnable. and then but it's not super cold. Like there's a huge difference between minus 15, minus 10 wind chill and a minus 25. Huge difference. Like it's basically the difference is comfortable versus
unbearable.
You can only be there for an hour or two at a time.
Would they have had the race last weekend? There's no way, right?
Probably, yeah. I think they would have had it.
Yeah, minus 40 degrees and go out there and don't die. Hopefully you don't die.
Well, you dress for it.
I know. It's just like, I guess you'd have to take a warm-up break
You warm up in the hut if you get.
Because I mean, I've ran like, I don't know, maybe 4 times outside in the winter, and like the days where it was minus like 10, 15, like one day it was like minus 20, and I could sense that difference. But like minus 10, 15, I went 2 hours and it was like no problem.
Yeah, like minus 10 isn't bad. It's not bad at all.
I mean, I know it's cold, but it's like, it's manageable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. For sure.
And your body just kind of heats through it. So speaking of, so there's not going to be snow, I don't think, right? It's not snowing. Not supposed to snow.
That's not in the forecast. No.
Because that would, I mean, if it snows Saturday, it looks like it might snow Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that would make it harder, but it would make it harder at the beginning. But once it gets packed in, it'll be a nice surface.
Right. But like if nobody's jogged on that and it snowed and you have fresh powder, isn't that going to make it tough?
Yeah, it would make it tougher. I would maybe start with the spikes in that case.
And that's the Falcon Lake Golf Course, right? You guys are running around the Falcon Lake Golf Course, right? Yeah, I believe it is.
It's the resort. I don't think it's a golf course.
Yeah, it's the golf course and the cross country trail, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Anyways, part of it, there's like 2 miles of it that's on the lake, on the actual lake.
Or a part of it is through the golf course, I think.
Yeah. Probably, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, okay, so then ideally your stretch goal would be like if you can get 36, maybe 40 miles?
44.
44? So that means you want to win.
No, I don't want to win, but depending on the conditions, I think like
44 would have won the last 3 years, Charlie.
Yeah, I know, but
so that means you want to win.
They had tough conditions.
Okay. I like it. I'm just
so I don't
stating
know.
the obvious here. If you want to do 44 and 40 would have won the last 3 years.
Mikhail Garillo isn't going to do more than 44.
Okay, fine, but he's a pro, so let's leave him out.
Yeah.
You want a podium?
No, I just want to do my best race. I want to stay in the moment and not actually. I just want to do a better second half than first half.
Yeah, a negative or whatever. I guess it would be a different type of negative. It would be a positive.
I don't know. Yeah.
More miles than the first half.
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you do it? Sorry, go ahead.
And then one of my main strategies, though, is to always keep moving. So there's that hut, and I don't want to spend much time in there. So I'm going to set up all my nutrition all in like bags and stuff, and
take it with you.
Carry most of it with me. I'm going to my plan is to have half of it, try to carry half of it with me when I start, and then halfway through just switch bags. And
why is that? You don't want to get cold. You don't want to like stiff up in the cold.
No, it's just I know it's so easy once you stop. Like starting up again, like you've been there, long runs, or if a run doesn't go well and you stop. I don't know if maybe you've never been there, but for me, when a run doesn't go well and you start slowing down, or you stop and you start walking or something, starting up again, that's when it's the hardest ever. So kind of just want to have that continuous movement just so that I don't waste, like, I don't want to spend 10 minutes in the yurt. That's so easy to do, right? I just want to keep going.
Yeah, I guess I did do some of that at the Ironman when I took 4
Was it
hours
hard to start up when you?
Well, I knew I was going to start up. I was just kind of enjoying the moment, enjoying the break and the transition. But I don't think I've ever. So you've done way more races than I have. You're talking specifically races, or are you talking training too?
Training more. So races, I have had bad races where I've had to walk, where I just went out too fast or something.
Yeah.
and it is extremely hard to restart once you've stopped. But I'm speaking more training. Like, let's say I had so classic example is actually my first marathon, 2015. I really didn't know how to train for stuff. So my last long run was 2 weeks before the marathon, and my goal was to do 3.5 for that marathon. So my last training run, my plan was to do 24 miles at 8 minutes a mile.
The pace, the
whole 24 miles. And now I realize how dumb that was, because I was just gonna just kill you, right?
Yeah, you can only do one of those efforts every 2 months or whatever.
Yeah. So anyways, that was my plan. And I actually bonked on that run at like mile 21. And I started walking, and I just walked home because I just couldn't restart after.
Huh.
So I don't know. I feel like just that stopping. Well, I mean, I think that'd be a common experience, that once you start.
I totally agree. I'm trying to think if it's ever happened to me. I don't think I've had one time where.
Well, I think if you're on the treadmill, that kind of keeps you from doing it sometimes, right? But
yeah, I think it's different. And then when the times where I've run outside, I've run. If I'm doing 10 miles, I'll go out 5 miles and back 5 miles, right? If I'm doing, and then I got to go home. So I might as well jog it. And maybe I'm jogging slow enough. And I don't know. I have had one race, and this didn't happen during my prep for my Ironman, but it happened in my prep for my Boston qualifier, where I couldn't finish what I was supposed to finish. And, you start thinking about it. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this. I don't think I could finish this. What does this look like if I quit, right in your head? What is this like? Could I do 6 miles or whatever it was? I forget what it was. Let's say it was supposed to be 14 miles and I did, maybe I just get to 10 and whatever. You're just thinking of a plan.
You've never like pulled a shoot on workouts?
No.
Oh, wow. I do.
This time.
Sorry, yes, I've done it. I do it like at least a handful of times every marathon. Like, so let's say I'm sick. Or
there's been times where I like on Friday last week.
Yeah,
Joel made me do 170 weighted squats with a 35 pound weight. I think I couldn't feel my legs the next day. I was supposed to do 10 miles.
Yeah,
I couldn't do 10 miles. I couldn't jog. I couldn't move. So
yeah,
I didn't jog at all. I did not jog at all. That's happened and I'll go for a bike. I'll go 45 minutes on the bike or whatever to try to, move the legs around. And I've missed workouts. I didn't miss many in my Ironman. I don't think I missed one in my Ironman, but I've missed like not feeling great or whatever, do a bike instead or skip.
So October 29th. For me, October 29th this year, this was exactly 2 weeks before our marathon. I was supposed to do a long run. So I had a 20-mile run planned, and I only did 7 miles.
What happened?
I just didn't feel
something.
Good.
Yeah, you didn't feel good.
So, but what I did is the next day I did an extra like 5 miles or something the next day to make up for it. But,
no, I'd say that's happened. So, I mean, mentally quitting. So that's happened once, maybe twice that I can remember, where I was like, talk myself into quitting.
Yeah.
And then, but I never like walked and said, I'm just going to walk for a bit and then I'll run again. That's never happened to me. Because if I'm quitting, I'm quitting. And I've done that maybe once or maybe twice where I've like, okay, well, I can't do this anymore. I don't ever remember walking in a training run and then trying to pick it up again.
So one thing I was doing in October this year, October I ran 270 miles. So it was a really high volume.
It's a lot of miles.
But what I was doing on my easy runs is I was really being strict on my heart rate, not letting it get above a certain point. And I actually did a lot of walking.
Yeah, but that's not
intentionally. So it's a bit different, but
or like you might have, I've never had walking as part of my training, but if you were like, hey, heart rate doesn't go above 140 and it's at 140, you walk, well, that's part of your training, right? That's not, that's different, I think.
Yeah. So to summarize, this Frozen Falcon is going to be an ordeal. So I'm kind of ready for the ordeal, I think.
I think that people have no clue how tough it's going to be outside. Like people, if you've never jogged in minus, it's way, 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 way tougher than people think. So I'm clapping you and I'm applauding all these, 60 runners that are going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, sorry to interrupt, but it's pretty tough to go out and run 8 hours straight in this cold. So you were saying, to summarize, you're going to.
Yeah. So I'll just do my best and I'll just try to keep going and try to not stop and make sure I eat as much as I can, whatever Patrick tells me I need to eat. Water, drink some water throughout and just keep going and do the best. I have no expectations on it. So, but it'll be, to me, the reason I signed up for it was to experience having to endure something for that long, right? An Ironman, it's maybe not as intense as a marathon, but it's a longer thing that you just have to endure, right? So to me, I look at it as kind of training for an Ironman.
I think it's fantastic training for that, because mentally you're going to want to quit many times.
Yeah.
Because this one you can just quit, right? There's no finish line, right?
Yeah.
You could just quit at 28 miles or 24 miles or 20 miles, and there's no consequence. Like, you still get a score, you still get a result. So I think it's a great, great, great training tool for the Ironman, because it's mostly mental. Plus, it's going to be very tough physically, but it's also going to be a challenge mentally, right?
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's great that you're doing this. And I initially I'd planned to go and check it out, but it's an hour drive and I don't think I'll be able to go.
Yeah, that's all right.
But what are you gonna do for nutrition the morning of? You're gonna get up, do your morning routine at 4 a.m. or whatever?
Just same thing I would do for like a marathon.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have a bit. No, because I think I had 3 packs of oatmeal, and I think that's a reasonable amount.
Or do 2 and a banana or something.
Oh yeah, I think I had 3 and a banana.
3 and a banana, and then your coffee on top of that, right?
Oh, I gotta have the coffee. Yeah.
No water 45 minutes before.
Yeah, no water.
Well, you can have water with your breakfast.
I would say even honestly, for me, it's always I've never not felt the urge to pee during a marathon. That's never happened for me. So
you've never not felt the urge to pee.
I've always had an urge to pee every single marathon,
except for the triple negatives.
Except for the first one where I didn't drink any water.
But I think we handled it pretty good in LA.
Yeah, but mile 4, I felt it. I felt
it, but I was like, I could push through this one, right? We drank early and then we stopped, and then we pissed hard before.
But I think a better strategy would have been to drink a bit less or a bit more. But it's hard to nail that, right? And then
we were pretty darn close to perfect in LA.
Yeah. I barely drank water that race. I drank a liter at the most.
And it wasn't boiling hot, so it's not like we were sweating. It's not like it was.
Well, I was sweating. But
I know we were sweating, but it's not like you're not losing.
But it's a short race, right?
Plus it's only 3 hours, right? So
So as opposed to this, where you kind of have to maintain it, you can't let it deplete, right? So
are they're gonna have chips and stuff, salted stuff to keep your hydration?
Yeah. So there's a whole canteen there. They're gonna provide chips. They're gonna provide ramen noodles.
Chicken noodle, ramen noodles.
And I think chips and ramen noodles are the main things they're providing. So we'll see how that goes. But
nice.
But I'm more I'm not super excited about it because I know how hard it's going to be. But at the same time, when I do it, I'm going to be in the moment and I'll enjoy it.
Do you think there's a little bit of these negative things that are happening to your foot, and you said you're not fit and all that? Do you think that's impacting how excited you are about this race?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So if I'd be feeling fresh like I was before the marathon in November, I think it'd be a different story.
It's almost like a direct correlation, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like the better you feel physically, the more excited you get for a race, right?
Yeah, I think for me, yeah. So it works, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, I've done a lot of races where I didn't feel fit, and it's the same when you go through it and you achieve, or even if you don't achieve a result that you expect, like just the going through it and testing yourself is kind of an amazing thing anyways, right? So even if you feel like you're a minute off and a mile off what you should be, and you end up beating that by 20 seconds, it's not your personal best, but at the same time, you pushed yourself, right? So I think either way, I'm going to get that sensation, which is going to be awesome. So
yeah, I think I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. And then I got mine the week after.
And then next week we'll talk about your 50 miler. How is that feeling right now?
It's feeling good. So I'm kind of past the taper now.
Yeah.
So I did 26.2 miles again on Saturday. So I did a marathon on a treadmill again on Saturday and felt great. 3 hours and 47 minutes or something. It felt really good. And
you ran a marathon in 3:47 at home on a fucking on a treadmill?
At the office on a treadmill.
At the office?
Yeah. Second one in 2 weeks.
Fuck. Sorry.
That's okay. We could bleep it out, or we don't really care. Yeah, it's the biggest thing is how anticlimactic it is. And like that's when you really know why you're running, right?
Yeah.
'Cause, like nobody gives a shit if I'm running a marathon or not. Nobody cares. I got to go home and I had to run the errands with my family and do stuff. And so like you're really, really doing it for yourself, and you're really, really doing it for the goals that you've set for yourself. So like,
yeah,
I understand people running marathons like the Manitoba Marathon and whatever, and it's such a cool experience and to be part of something special. And I get that, but to do a marathon on a treadmill, you really have to want it for yourself. And it's like, because you get off that treadmill, you go and you shower and you go home and you just go on with your day, and it's totally different.
So that's like an 8.5 pace.
Yeah, it was a tad faster this week than last week. Last week was 3:49 or 3:50, I think it was, and this week was 3:47.
Wow, you're in good shape. That's nice.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean,
it's an hour slower than you did 2 months ago.
Yeah, but wow. Okay. That's great. So you're ready. Oh man, you're gonna cry. You might win this thing. What?
Okay, easy. Pump the brakes, pump the tires.
No, you're in shape. Like holy, you're gonna crush this. This.
Well, I don't know if I could have ever in my life thought that I'd ever be able to run a marathon on a treadmill like by yourself and just hop up and then do another 13 miles the next day, right? Because I had to do half marathons on either side. Or sorry, it was. What was it?
I was pumped that I did like a 48-mile week here when I was away. I was pretty pumped about that. So you did that in like 2 days.
Well, the goal was to do a 50-mile weekend.
Yeah.
Weekends, the last 2 weekends.
Yeah. Wow.
So it was 10, 26, 13.
And you did it.
Yeah.
Oh man, okay. Next week we have to talk about like you're gonna be a contender here.
Charlie, I certainly feel good, but I guess this is why we do this, is to talk about how we feel, right? And to talk about if there's disappointment in the races, that's fine. Next week we could talk about that. I am very, very, very excited. And like the one thing I want to mention is how awesome it feels after like how good I felt Saturday, knowing that like that was my last big run.
Yeah.
And now I had to do an hour today, and it was an hour on the treadmill. But like,
does it feel long sometimes though when you've been doing super long and then you're like, okay, it's just an hour, so then it makes it feel longer?
There's definitely a correlation or a factor that no matter what the distance is, it's going to feel long when you start on a relative basis. It makes no sense. I just ran 4 hours This hour should have been no problem.
Yeah, but it felt long, right?
It felt long for some reason.
Yeah, for me that happens too. Let's say I've done tons of long runs and I'm like, okay, I got an hour run or whatever. It's like, oh, that's gonna be no sweat. So you get overconfident, I think.
You get overconfident, and they're all tough, which is like odd, right?
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be that way, but it definitely is.
Yeah.
Unless I'm running outside really slow and like not caring about my watch, not even looking at my watch, that's a different pace, which is why I'm excited for Run for Rob. And by the way, busy week for Run for Rob. We have the press conference on Thursday. I've done interviews. I was on CTV National News on the weekend, and I've got, 5-6 interviews lined up with the media. So if you don't know about Run with Rob, go to the website, runwithrob.com, check it out, sign up. I'm looking for people to run with me across Manitoba, 24 half marathons. You pick your leg
I signed up for the Center of Canada one.
That's going to be a good one. The Center of Canada. It's Deacon's Corner to the center of Canada, right by a landmark on the highway though. But I think that's going to be a popular one. Justin is supposed to do that one with you. So
yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
That's coming. That's exciting. So a quick plug, go to www.runwithrob.com, donate, sponsor, sign the petition, or run with me. Those are my 4 asks of you, our viewers, our listeners, friends, family. So last prediction, Charlie, 44 miles. Do they?
No. That's
what I heard.
That's the stretch target.
Stretch target.
So I want to finish my 10th loop by 4:15.
Okay.
And then that's stretch.
That allows you to do the 11.
But I think realistic, 32 is like the worst case.
Okay.
And I think maybe 36 would be like, I don't know, because it's so dependent on.
Well, I was just going to say, big caveat here, big caveat. Who knows what you're going to run on?
Yeah.
If it's snowbanks, fresh snow, well, you're not doing 36 miles.
I guess if I'm comparing to athletes that are similar to me and have run previous races here, I would say 36 would be fabulous for me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited. We'll talk about your race next week. Lots of stuff on the go right now. Your frozen Falcon. Go to the website, follow the results. I guess by the time this is posted, the race will already have happened. But regardless, we will talk about how it went. Anything else, Charlie?
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, give us a follow, smash the bell. You need to be notified when we put out new content, when we put out new episodes. Don't forget to, wherever you're streaming this, if you're streaming it on your podcast, like, subscribe there. If you're following it on YouTube, do the same there. And by all means, tell us what your thoughts are about anything that we say. If you think we're BSing, put it in the comments below. Send us a note. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Rob and Charlie signing off. We'll see you in the next video.